Last summer, I met someone who has PTSD, and it was really cool. Wait, that sounds weird. Okay, I'm not saying that it was cool that she has PTSD. Okay, that would be horrible. Oh my god. Let's just do the intro. Let me clarify. Pretty much everyone knows what PTSD is, right? It's a mental disorder that a person can get from a traumatic event, like a car crash or an assault. Not all traumatic events automatically lead to PTSD. There are other ingredients. I have the diagnosis of C-PTSD, and when I meet people who haven't heard of this, they always ask the same question. What's the C stand for? The C stands for complex, and to put it one way, it's like having PTSD multiple times. C-PTSD originates from childhood events, so people with it have often unknowingly had it their entire life. PTSD is something that you get from a traumatic event that occurs in adulthood. I've met a lot of people with C-PTSD, but I actually haven't met anyone with PTSD until this past summer. And if you're watching this and you have C-PTSD, please stay, because I really want you to hear what I learned from this experience. We met at the local Saturday market. I had some things she wanted to buy on Facebook Marketplace, and I told her to look for the couple with a golden retriever. And she said, oh great, I'll bring my golden retriever too. Now Evie has been trained to be my service dog to help me when I'm triggered. So far, she's terrible at it. And Olivia comes up to me with her dog Francine, who was actually more rambunctious than Evie. We got to talking, and Olivia says something about how people keep giving her grief about Francine because she doesn't act like a typical service dog. Now, of course, I got intrigued, but you never, ever ask someone what their service dog is for. That's just super rude. Here in Canada, businesses are allowed to ask what your service dog is trained to do, but they absolutely cannot ask about your disability. And socially, it's just not nice to ask unless that person offers up the information. And Olivia did offer up the information and told us she was recently diagnosed with PTSD. I don't feel like it's right for me to say the cause of her PTSD, but I'll just say it's pretty friggin' valid. Okay, everyone out there watching with CPTSD, hearing from this person with PTSD made me feel so amazing. And I know that that sounds seriously weird, but I want you to feel this too. Olivia said it started about a year ago, that she knew something was wrong. She started having nightmares, intrusive thoughts that she couldn't control, feeling increased alertness in certain situations, and of course, depression and anxiety. As I was listening, I couldn't help but think that she's describing my entire life. And then it hit me. Olivia knew something was wrong because she had a previous normal life to compare it to. When you have CPTSD your entire life, and if you have it, it's pretty much a guarantee that you've had it your entire life. It's all we know. We don't have a frame of reference. We don't have something to compare it to. So why did this make me feel amazing? It's going to be hard to describe unless you already know what I'm talking about. But when you have CPTSD, one of the things you do is you question whether or not it's really that bad. You're not sure if it's bad or if you're just imagining it or exaggerating it. You doubt yourself a lot. It prevents you from asking for help, from thinking that you deserve help, because you just keep telling yourself that it's not that bad. Well, of course it doesn't seem that bad when you don't know any other way of existing. Olivia knows another way of existing. She is a person who has experienced both sides. And she can experience these symptoms and know that, yeah, this is pretty fucked up right here. She gave me a precious gift, and she doesn't even realize it. Because now, when I doubt myself, when I think I'm exaggerating or imagining things, I think of her and the confidence that she had when she told me, no, this isn't what normal life feels like, and you are justified in feeling the way that you do. She gave me that. Sometimes I feel like I don't deserve a service dog. There are other people who need them more. But then I think of Olivia and how confident she was that she deserves the right to have a service dog for her symptoms, which were identical to mine. And then I think, well, if she can be that confident, then maybe I can be that confident. After that encounter, I felt like I could trust myself more and stop denying my experience. And I'm not one to endorse a victim mentality. That's not what this is. It's listening to what your mind and body are telling you and accepting it. You can accept it without pitying yourself or victimizing yourself. There is strength to be found in the acceptance. One last thing I'll say that I hope those of you with CPTSD can relate to. When I did group therapy, there was a lot of talk about getting back to who we used to be. This always made me feel crappy because it was like, I've always been this way. I don't know who I am or who I'll be when I'm not this way. I was first M-worded when I was 3 years old, so who am I trying to get back to? 2-year-old me? No, that person doesn't exist anymore. The timeline of who I would be with a healthy childhood is gone. It's just erased. There's only forward, which means something new, something healthy. Who will I be when I'm that? Because it's not the same as who I would be if none of that garbage happened to that 3-year-old. Those are not the same people at all. And honestly, I don't want to be the person who none of that happened to. I know that sounds weird, because right now the only thing of value I see in myself is the small chance that what I've gone through and what I've learned can help other people with CPTSD. So no, I don't want to be that person. I'd rather be something new.